March 21st, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a restaurant employee charged with threatening customers with a butcher knife, an identity thief sought by Norwalk police, and a potential new hangover cure developed by Yale students. Frank Granito will join us with a look at the forecast, and later on a Nutmeg Sports Update, and Donna Lang will join us to take a look back on this day in history. But first, an employee of Sarku Japan restaurant located in the Westfield Trumbull Mall was arrested Sunday for allegedly threatening a customer with a butcher knife. According to witnesses, at about 5:30 in the evening, 20-year-old Kevy Gonzalez of Bridgeport started yelling at customers who were waiting in line, telling them to leave and that there was no more food to be served. When customers complained, he began yelling and swearing at them. The manager later told police that Sarku was not in fact out of food. An argument ensued with one customer when Gonzalez retreated to the kitchen and returned, wielding a large butcher's knife, challenging the customer to a fight. The victim was in the process of reporting the incident to Trumbull police when he yelled for help from mall security, who intervened and separated the two. Gonzalez was charged with breach of peace and threatening, and he's scheduled to appear in court on March 29th. And the Connecticut Post is reporting that the head of the Bridgeport Police Department's minority organization was arrested in connection with an assault on a city resident after a car collision. 30-year-old Officer Davin Polite, president of the Guardians, was charged Thursday with second-degree assault and second-degree breach of peace. Police said Polite allegedly dragged a 41-year-old man from his van and beat and kicked him after the man's van collided with Polite's red Mercedes sedan back on September 19, 2016 on Hurd Avenue. Polite, who has been on the police force for years, has been suspended without pay pending a further hearing, according to Police Chief Armando Perez. The Bridgeport Police Chief said the investigation is continuing in this case, and he said, "We hope to move swiftly on this matter. I consider it a serious matter." And in other news, in Ridgefield, multiple bottles of liquor were stolen from Route 7 Wines and Liquors on Ethan Allen Highway back on February 23rd. The Ridgefield Police Department is seeking the public's help in identifying 3 individuals who are persons of interest, and they have surveillance photos of 2 of the women they say were involved. Now, if you have any information or spotted the suspects, you can contact Ridgefield Detective George Romero at 203-431-2794. And Norwalk police are looking for help finding a woman they say stole credit card numbers while working at a doctor's office. The Norwalk Department of Police Service currently holds 4 arrest warrants for 35-year-old Rochelle Williams. The warrants charge Williams with larceny, identity theft, credit card fraud, and forgery. Recently, Williams worked at a local doctor's office as a receptionist. During this time, police say she stole the credit card numbers and check information of patients. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. Anonymous tips can be left at 203-854-3111 or at norwalkpd.com. And New Canaan police investigators arrested a Stamford juvenile on March 17th for theft of a New Canaan car last September. That arrest warrant was served on the juvenile at the Stamford Police Department after New Canaan police were notified that the juvenile was there on an unrelated matter. Back on September 19th, New Canaan police received a report of a car stolen from an old Stamford road. Keys were left in the car overnight and doors were unlocked, according to Lieutenant Jason Ferraro. On September 21st, New Canaan police were notified by Stamford police that that stated stolen vehicle had been recovered in Stamford. New Canaan police processed that recovered vehicle and were able to lift fingerprints from the rearview mirror, which ended up as a match for that male juvenile from Stamford. And should marijuana be legalized for recreational use? Well, State Senator Ed Gomes wants to know what the public thinks. Gomes will host a marijuana panel discussion on March 27th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Housatonic Community College in Bridgeport. Gomes represents portions of Bridgeport and Stratford. Both chambers of the General Assembly have bills that would legalize the sale of marijuana for recreational use. Those sales would be taxed. While some lawmakers are open to marijuana legalization as a way to increase state revenues, others have said it should not be legalized because it's an illegal drug that will lead users to harder drugs. In January, Gomes said he does not have a problem with marijuana, but wanted to hear what his constituents in Bridgeport and Stratford had to say before deciding how he might vote on a future bill. And Darien police arrested a New Haven resident for driving with a suspended license and driving under the influence on March 17th. An officer on patrol on the Post Road near Richmond Drive saw a Jeep Grand Cherokee traveling on the wrong side of the median near I-95 exit 13. The officer stopped the vehicle near the highway's entrance just before 2 in the morning. That driver, George Herrera Vasquez, 28 years old, was identified with an international driver's license. A Spanish-speaking officer was brought to the scene to speak with Herrera Vasquez, who allegedly showed signs of intoxication. He was asked to submit to field sobriety tests, but was unable to complete those and was arrested. Breathalyzer tests showed blood alcohol levels of 0.1701. Herrera Vasquez was released on a promise to appear in court on March 27th. But switching gears now, let's throw it over to Frank Granito. Frank, happy second day of spring. Does it feel like it out there?
Not quite yet, with mostly cloudy skies out this morning, Kate. A little milder, though, but we're going to see plenty of sunshine later on this afternoon as cloud covers will clear out and temperatures reaching up into the high 50s. Partly cloudy overnight and colder out, with the wind chill dropping temperatures into the low 20s before Wednesday morning. A cold one tomorrow around Fairfield County. Temperatures only reaching into the low 30s. Breezy out with gusts of wind between 20 to 25 miles per hour, keeping temperatures below that 30-degree mark with the wind chill. Clear skies tomorrow night, but frigid conditions. Temperatures dropping all the way down into the single digits as the strong winds hang around towards the second half of this week. We're looking at a full day of sunshine on Thursday, though, with clear skies from dawn until dusk. Still cold out with an expected high of only 36 degrees, but the midweek wind starts to die down overnight, and with partly cloudy skies, we should be heading towards what will be a warmer weekend. That's going to do it for this weather update. Let's send it back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, Donald Ang joins us to take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have more local news coming up after this.
When it comes to considering the outside of your home, just imagine the possibilities. Whether your dream is a stunning freeform pool or a tranquil, secluded garden, the team of professionals at Stonebridge Associates will make it a reality. We offer unparalleled landscape design and construction, masonry development, pools, spas, and water features, as well as landscape and garden maintenance. No other firm can offer the same level of creativity, quality, and personal attention. Discover the possibilities at stonebridgeassociates.net or call 203-544-8376 today.
At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area, featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet, 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us.
We told Dad he could have his office back if he sold 150 cars last month.
Deal's a deal.
Well, Dad, you did it. You get your office back.
Forget it. I'm having too much fun down here. My new goal, 160 cars.
Wow.
Folks, if you ever wanted a great price on a new Nissan, now is the time.
Right now, lease a 2017 Altima 2.5S for only $99 a month.
Isn't it time you got Millerized?
Welcome back to this Tuesday, March 21st edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to throw it over to Donald Ang to take a look back on this day in history. Don.
Well, Kate, there was a series of marches in March, but first we go to 1918. At the end of World War I, Germany begins its spring offensive, a last-ditch effort to win the war. Having been fighting a two-front war against the Western Allies and Russia since 1914, the collapse of Russia allowed Germany to transfer 50 divisions to the Western Front. The plan was to break through Allied lines and force the British and French to seek armistice terms before the Americans could get fully involved. But the Germans incurred nearly 700,000 casualties in 4 months, and the arrival of 2 million Americans by July forced Germany to capitulate 5 months later. To 1925 we go. The Butler Act prohibits the teaching of human evolution in Tennessee. In fact, it outlaws any teaching that would conflict with the biblical account of creation. The bill was signed into law by Governor Austin Peay. Sometimes you see that on your March Madness bracket, not this year though. Austin Peay signed the bill. Tennessee historians consider him the best governor in state history. The bill was challenged later that year by the so-called Scopes monkey trial. 2006, the social media site Twitter, launched by 30-year-old NYU dropout Jack Dorsey and 13 others who all opened their accounts that day. Dorsey sent the first tweet in company history. That's it right there. By 2007, there were 400,000 posts per quarter, 400,000 tweets being posted per quarter. The all-time highlight of Twitter, well, that still has to be the inadvertent May 2011 live tweeting of the raid on the bin Laden compound by Pakistani IT consultant Sohaib Athar, a helicopter hovering above Abbottabad. That's a rare event. Finally, now we go to 1965 for this.
It is a Sunday to be remembered, not only by Selma, but by the rest of Alabama and by the rest of America. Under the leadership of Dr. Martin Luther King and under the presidentially ordered protection of the National Guard and soldiers of the United States Army, the long-awaited, long-delayed Freedom March to Montgomery begins. UN Undersecretary Dr. Ralph Bunche is but one of many persons in public life who joined the march. The bridge where before the marchers had been turned back is crossed without incident. By one means or another, practically every foot of the 54-mile course is under surveillance to prevent violence.
That, of course, was the first Freedom March from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, in defiance of segregationist repression, and it was led by Martin Luther King, part of a broader voting rights movement underway throughout the American South. By highlighting racial injustice, King and the others contributed to passage that year of the Voting Rights Act, a landmark federal achievement in civil rights. That is your look back in history for today, March 21st, and I'm Donald Ang.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, HAN's Ridgefield Press reports that Di Masters has resigned from Ridgefield's Planning and Zoning Commission, which also serves as the town's Inland Wetlands Board and Aquifer Protection Agency. She has almost a quarter-century of public service to Ridgefield, including more than a decade on both the Board of Selectmen and the Planning and Zoning Commission. Masters made her resignation in a letter to Town Clerk Barbara Filippi on Monday, March 20th, but there's a lot more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. Let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And let's start up in New Haven, where for the first time ever, the Ridgefield Tigers took home the Division I Boys State Hockey Championship. It was a championship game featuring the top two teams in the tournament, and Ridgefield proved to be too much for the top-seeded Northwest Catholic Lions, as the Tigers scored 3 goals in a span of only 24 seconds in the opening period on their way to a 6-2 win. Northwest Catholic would score the game's next 2 goals, trimming the Tigers' lead to just 1 before the third period, but 3 more unanswered goals in the final frame put this game out of reach and started the party up at Ingalls for Ridgefield. Senior Mateo Van Wees led the way offensively with 2 goals, and forwards Nick Cullinan, Will Forrest, and Jack Stafford each added 3 points, which was more than enough insurance for Sean Keegans, who finished with 30 saves, putting an excellent exclamation point on a stellar senior season. So congratulations again to Coach Gallagher and the Tigers. We'll have a full breakdown of last night's game on Nutmeg Sports this afternoon. Also want to offer a special congratulations to the Fairfield Co-op girls ski team, who won their 5th consecutive state championship earlier this month. The Mustangs finished with a team total of 334.94 seconds, nearly 10 seconds faster than the second place Greenwich Cardinals. The Staples Wreckers finishing in 3rd, and Ridgefield came in 4th. Individually, Fairfield's Michaela Fleming totaled 53.29 seconds in her 2 combined runs to finish 3rd overall in the event. So a great showing by all those FCX schools at the state tournament, and congratulations again to Fairfield Girls Co-op Ski Team winning their 5th straight state championship. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports Update. Let's send it back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, 2 Yale University students say they've created a supplement that prevents hangovers. The New Haven Register reports that Yale seniors Liam McClintock and Margaret Morse were driven to find a hangover blocker after struggling to complete work the morning after nights out. The pair began research by testing supplements to determine what worked. They then developed a formula of their own and tested it on themselves as well as friends. McClintock and Morse say their elixir, called Sunup, contains 15 ingredients, including vitamins and green tea extract. They say it's better than other products because it addresses the 4 root causes of hangovers. The collegiate chemists say a pharmaceutical company is producing their supplement with help from Yale alumni. They hope to sell their product both online and in stores. And in other news, the United States Postal Inspection Service and the Connecticut Better Business Bureau have embarked on a campaign to prevent further monetary losses in fake lottery scams and sweepstakes. Much of this type of telemarketing fraud originates in Jamaica, and the U.S. Postal Service has been working with Jamaica's legislators and law enforcement in a program called Project Jolt, which stands for Jamaican Operations Linked to Telemarketing. The Project Jolt collaboration has disrupted and shut down several of the telemarketing operations, which funnel money to Jamaican gangs and help finance drug and weapons smuggling. In a typical example, a caller will tell a victim they have won a multi-million-dollar international lottery sweepstakes, but they must first send money to cover fake fees or taxes before they can collect their winnings. Victims are instructed to send cash by mail, stash in a magazine or book to conceal the money. Unfortunately, the would-be lotteries and sweepstakes are fake, and the money disappears into the hands of Jamaican gangs. And Stratford and Westport firefighters will take to the ice in April to honor former firefighter James Carafiello. The Stratford and Westport fire departments will host a memorial hockey game on April 1st at 1 p.m. at the rinks at Shelton. The Stratford Fire Department is hosting the charity hockey game being played in honor of Carafiello, who died back on December 26 at his home on Huntington Road. He was just 38 years old. In addition to being a firefighter, Carafiello was a basketball coach at St. James School and at St. Joseph High School. The memorial hockey game will be preceded by a ceremony in honor of Carafiello, and the ceremony will feature bagpipers, an honor guard, and a ceremonial puck drop by his family. In addition, custom hockey pucks, stickers, and t-shirts will be available, and a raffle will take place. Now, tickets are $10 for adults and $5 for children. Doors will open at noon that day. For more information, you can contact Mike Apatow at 203-521-8521. And if you can't attend the game, you can always support it by visiting gofundme.com/carf-hockey. But we are going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following on your coffee break after this.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Skep Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, skepchryslerjeep.com or skepdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the spring clearance event and Ram Truck Month, now through March 31st.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
While there's still a bite out on the water, most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Wild Birds Unlimited.
At Wild Birds Unlimited of Brookfield, get expert advice from our certified bird feeding specialists. We offer always fresh, clean seed that will be sure to attract birds to your home feeder. Experience our excellent customer service. Open 7 days a week. Visit us at 317 Federal Road, Brookfield.
Wild Birds Unlimited. We bring people and nature together.
It's the InSports Athletic Functional Movement Assessment Program.
A program that uses a camera, the same camera that you use with an Xbox video game.
What it involves is 3 phases. One is the initial test, which will give you a very objective and lengthy assessment of how you are moving and where there may be imbalances.
Once test gets the results from the assessment, we'll develop a customized program for the individual.
The objective really to try to get as many young athletes through this program as possible.
Welcome back to this Tuesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. An employee of Sarku Japan restaurant located in the Westfield Trumbull Mall was arrested Sunday for allegedly threatening a customer with a butcher knife. According to witnesses, at about 5:30 in the evening, 20-year-old Kevy Gonzalez of Bridgeport started yelling at customers who were waiting in line, telling them to leave and that there was no more food. When customers complained, he began yelling and swearing at them. The manager later told police that Sarku was not, in fact, out of food. An argument ensued with one customer when Gonzalez retreated to the kitchen and returned wielding a large butcher's knife, challenging that customer to a fight. The victim was in the process of reporting the incident to Trumbull police when he yelled for help from mall security, who intervened and separated the two. Gonzalez was charged with breach of peace and threatening and is scheduled to appear in court on March 29th. And the Connecticut Post is reporting that the head of the Bridgeport Police Department's minority organization was arrested in connection with an assault on a city resident after a car collision. 30-year-old Officer Davin Polite, president of the Guardians, was charged Thursday with second-degree assault and second-degree breach of peace. Police said Polite allegedly dragged a 41-year-old man from his van and beat and kicked him after the man's van collided with Polite's red Mercedes sedan back on September 19, 2016 on Hurd Avenue. Polite, who has been on the police force 4 years, has been suspended without pay pending a further hearing, according to Police Chief Armando Perez. The Bridgeport Police Chief said the investigation is continuing in this case, and we hope to move swiftly on this matter. And in Ridgefield, multiple bottles of liquor were stolen from Route 7 Wines and Liquors on Ethan Allen Highway back on February 23rd. The Ridgefield Police Department is seeking the public's help in identifying 3 individuals who are persons of interest, and they have surveillance photos of 2 of the women they say were involved. If you have any information or spotted those suspects, you can contact Detective George Romero at 203-431-2794. And Norwalk police are looking for help finding a woman they say stole credit card numbers while working at a doctor's office. The Norwalk Police Department currently holds 4 arrest warrants for 35-year-old Rochelle Williams. The warrants charge Williams with larceny, ID theft, credit card fraud, and forgery. Recently, Williams worked at a local doctor's office as a receptionist, and during that time, police say she stole the credit card numbers and check information of patients. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. Anonymous tips can be left at 203-854-3111. And bringing a little Southern flavor to town, the Darien Foundation will host a Dixie in Darien fundraiser showcasing a musical performance by Edwin McCain. That benefit will take place at 7 p.m. on Saturday, May 6th at the Darien Community Association Meadowlands on Middlesex Road. Now, featuring a Southern buffet dinner, the event will be a casual down-home affair complete with a bourbon bar and award-winning Bill's Barbecue, direct from Wilson, North Carolina. Following the dinner and a brief program and paddle race, South Carolina native Edwin McCain will take to the stage at 9 for a private concert. Now, you can get more information on that event and how to get tickets at DarienTimes.com. But let's throw it back over to Frank Granito for one final look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. Again, we've got mostly cloudy skies out right now, but those should clear out by the afternoon, and we're staring down temperatures reaching up into the mid to high 50s. Partly cloudy overnight, and it starts to get colder with the wind chill dropping temperatures into the low 20s before Wednesday morning. A cold one tomorrow around Fairfield County with temperatures only reaching into the low 30s. A little windier out. We could see gusts as high as 25 miles per hour, and that number is going to feel more like 30 degrees with the wind chill. Frigid on Wednesday night. Temperatures in the single digits as strong winds hang around to start the second half of the week. We're looking at a full day of sunshine on Thursday, though, but still a little chilly out. Around a high of 36 degrees to wrap up the midweek, but we should be looking at a warmer weekend here around Fairfield County. That's going to do it for the weather. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break. We're coming up at 12:30. The Drive with Denise is live in studio. Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock, and we will see you for your coffee break tomorrow at 11. Have a great day.